Hello everyone, welcome to my explaining of the first annual Hunger Games. Well, before we begin, no one actually knows exactly what happened in the first Hunger Games, and the reason why I'm even doing this is because, well, I searched the Wikipedia on the internet and the Hunger Games Wikipedia, and I didn't find anything of the first annual Hunger Games, so I searched the internet and I still didn't find anything. So these are observations I have of the Hunger Games and what they probably were like. So keep in mind, they're going to be pretty accurate, give or take a few details. So, well, let's just begin with the Reaping. The Reaping had no careers, absolutely no careers in it, because Hunger Games was a fairly new idea, so no one even trained for it, and all the districts were still hateful of the capital. They just didn't like the capital. So, no careers. And it was a reaping, regular reaping for all the districts. Well, so, yeah, everyone was reaped. No one volunteered, unless it was for another family member. But according to the books, this is a very rare thing, so probably not. So, there were not any chariot rides or training or interviews, none of that. No, it was just, it wasn't such a big deal. It wasn't more of a show, it was more of a punishment for the districts. So the capital didn't want to meet them, they didn't care, and so they just went straight to the arena. And that's another thing, the arena, it wouldn't be like so much designing went into it, because you know, by the 74th Hunger Games, the capital was very technical. It had many machines and things that we don't have today. But in the first Hunger Games and the Hunger Games after that, it would probably be about the same technology that America has today. So that means no force fields, and it'd just be like some huge, really tall wall, something that you just can't break through without machines. And very tall, so you can't climb over it. And it might be televised. The games probably were televised, probably not too. You just don't know. Uh, where was I? Oh yeah, the arena. It was probably outdoors in a forest or something like that, but it wasn't really designed very much, just more picked. Was picked, and they just took a forest and put a wall around it. That's probably about what they did. No, literally, that's probably all they did. There weren't game makers or anything. There might have been someone in charge, but they didn't really have a title. And I guess that moves us on to the bloodbath, uh, if you want to call it that. They probably did have a cornucopia and supplies and food and weapons. They might have. Minus the food. Probably just more weapons. And what I'm guessing is when the gong went off or whatever signals the Hunger Games for that, nothing happened. A few tributes might have stepped off their pedestal, but other than that, nothing would have happened. Because it was such a new idea, it's like murder, pretty much. You know, it was such a new idea that they didn't realize that if they didn't kill each other, chances are they would get killed then. They just didn't know. So, not too much killing went on in the bloodbath, or at all, probably. For all we know, they could have just gathered all the food, if there was any, started a campfire, and just started telling stories or something. They all could have just been best friends. We just don't know. They could have just gone on their own, but what we do know is probably zero tributes died in the initial bloodbath. And most of the tributes probably were killed by mutations, if you want to call it that, because again, the capital didn't have as much technology as they do now. So they were probably killed more by tigers or something. They just sent in tigers, lions, and bears. Oh my, just something like that. They just sent in some wild creatures that would kill a human, and that's probably what they did. And I guess I want to go back a little bit uh, to the Capitol and how they looked at it. You know, because the Hunger Games were made, it's kind of a 50-50 guess, really, if the Capitol liked watching the tributes die or not. Because, again, they're all just kids. They're kids being forced to kill each other. People like my age, they're killing each other, they're getting killed, they're dying. No, because it was such a new idea and it was more of a punishment, the Capitol didn't watch it really for entertainment, but more of hatred, if they even liked it. Because it might have been just so horrifying that they just didn't like it. But then again, maybe they did like it because they just hated the districts that much. It's 50-50. Maybe a little bit of both, even. So, I guess that takes us to the end of the Hunger Games. All 23, or at least most of the tributes, were killed by animals. Like, animals the Capitol sent in to kill them. Because almost no tributes would have gotten killed by other tributes. And so the victor is unknown. No one knows who the victor is, but chances are it's not from District 12. Like, I'm not being rude or anything or mean, or it's just not from District 12. Because that would mean from the second Hunger Games to the 49th Hunger Games, there were no District 12 victors. And that's very unlikely. Because you're only one victor before the 50th Hunger Games. So take it any way you want, but it's so unlikely that you might as well just cross off District 12 of one of the possible victors. But as for the other districts, it could have been any one of them because none of them had special training or anything like that, so it could have been any of them. Your guess is as good as mine. And when they did win, they probably just barely won because there were animals and stuff just killing all the tributes that they probably won by seconds and almost died themselves. And they didn't receive any money, probably. Of course, they might have. Because it's hard to tell if they added the money as a reward to make it more like a game show to the Capitol, or they just didn't give them one. I don't know. Or if it's just something they just earned, all the time. It's hard to tell. It's kind of your guess, really, if they earned money or not. But they did get to go back home. Yes, that is one thing that they did get. I think I'm missing something. I was going to explain one more thing. Nope, I think that's just about it. So, yeah, thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video and it informed you. If it did, please give me a like below. And if you want me to discuss more things about the Hunger Games, just leave it in the comments and I will consider doing a video of it. And yeah, that's about it. So, thanks for watching this video, and yeah, well, have a nice day and see you later. Goodbye.